Greetings everyone, I am Dr. Wolf, and ever since I watched She Talks to Angel, there's this one line that just keeps mulling around in my head.
I talk to animals, I want to marry Discord.
This really came out of nowhere. I mean, who would have expected to hear that coming from Fluttershy? But we have to remember, this isn't Fluttershy. This is Angel Bunny saying these things. And yeah, it's a little confusing and yet intriguing. Let's think about this for just a second. Angel, he's spoiled rotten. He is selfish. He really wants to be the center of attention in Fluttershy's life. That's been very consistent. At the same time, he's also had moments of genuine care about Fluttershy's well-being. And yeah, it would make a lot of sense that out of any pony, any being in the world, that Fluttershy shares her deepest and most personal thoughts with Angel Bunny. Despite the fact that he's so selfish and spoiled at times, it would make sense that Fluttershy deeply cares about him and deeply trusts him. It was kind of a point of She Talks to Angel that really Angel can't communicate with anyone but Fluttershy. Might be able to communicate with other animals, but there are no ponies about who can really understand animals the way Fluttershy does. So if there was anyone that Fluttershy was willing to open up and share her most personal thoughts with, yeah, that would make sense that Angel would fit that role. Now, we also have to imagine that Angel doesn't think too highly of Fluttershy all the time. Angel really didn't want to spend time doing Fluttershy's chores and didn't really care about them the way Fluttershy would. It makes sense for his personality that he'd kind of skip over a lot of the details and not really care until it blew up in his face. We could see that when Angel is trying to convince some other pony that he really is Fluttershy, that he'd be trying to put on a show. That maybe a line like, "I want to marry Discord," is trying to make fun of Fluttershy. At the same time, it doesn't make a whole lot of sense unless the previous lines were all trying to make fun of Fluttershy, trying to come up with things that just weren't true. But instead, he talks about how shy Fluttershy is, how she loves to talk to animals, and then how she wants to marry Discord. So I don't believe the writers would have put this in here as just a joke. It could be that they're trying to give the shipping fans out there a lot of excitement, and for those who don't believe in something like Fluttercord, a lot of resentment. I can understand that. And since the show is coming to an end, I imagine that even the producers are allowing things like this because, hey, we're not really risking a whole lot because everything's going to be coming to an end soon. We might as well try to do the things that we've always wanted to do for a long time. So, again, I have to wonder, does this line actually mean something to the canon of the show? If there's anyone that Discord has spent more time with than Fluttershy, I really do not know. And vice versa. Fluttershy has genuinely reached out to Discord in ways that no one else ever did before then. I can see a deep personal friendship between the two of them, and yeah, I can certainly get behind that. But Fluttershy wants to marry Discord? I don't know whether that's really canon to the show, and yet at the same time, I am still intrigued by the possibility, because why would the writers put that in the show? There has been a stigma against shipping any of the main six with one particular pony throughout the show. I mean, we've seen Rarity have more than a couple of crushes throughout the show, but they haven't lasted all that long. It's more like one episode, or during season 1 when she wanted to meet Prince Blueblood, that kind of just blew up in her face as soon as it happened. So yeah, having any of the main six be in a relationship with anyone else on a more permanent basis, I can understand why the writers would be very hesitant to even attempt something like that. Secondary characters, it seems much more amiable. I mean, Big Mac and Sugar Belle? Yeah, I would love to see them actually do more with that, but who knows if they're gonna do anything more before the end of the show. I did see a couple of scenes that maybe the writers wanted to put something between Discord and Celestia. I mean, at the very end of season 4, Discord hands Celestia a bunch of flowers and gives her a wink, and Celestia seemed interested in the prospect. And later on, during Make New Friends But Keep Discord, there was even a time when Celestia talks about she's having so much fun seeing all this chaos. And I have to think maybe the writers wanted to do something between Discord and Celestia, but weren't allowed to. Instead, they just kept making more episodes that further emphasizes how much of a deep personal friendship that Discord and Fluttershy have together. And yes, I can really get behind that because one of my personal favorite fan fictions in the Brony community has been Forever Young. I did a dramatic reading of this story, and later on some gorgeous artwork was added and even a couple of other voice actresses. It's still one of my personal favorite projects that I've ever been a part of. And yes, in that story, it wasn't about being married to Discord, but rather having that deep personal friendship, and how much it even meant to Discord in changing who he was and who he wanted to be. If the writers wanted to make Fluttercord canon to the series, it's probably a little too late to show anything to where that's actually confirmed beyond Angel maybe knowing that about Fluttershy, because she might have shared that personal feeling with him, or maybe even written it in a diary that Angel happened to see. I don't know. The thought of it just being a joke, it seems less likely. The thought of it just being to give shippers in the community a lot of excitement and or resentment because the show's coming to an end, that does seem more likely. But I'm not completely dismissing the idea of Fluttercord being canon to the series. Maybe this is all that is going to be shown about these two, as maybe a bit more than just a deep personal friendship. I still very much prefer something like Forever Young, the way these characters were written, but I'm not totally against the idea of taking it further than that. It really just depends on everyone's personal preferences. It's perfectly okay if you think, yeah, they should just stay friends. I can get behind that, but I don't know. I guess there's a reason why Bride of Discord has been so very popular in the community over the years. But then, what do each of you think? Given this very short line during one of the final episodes in the entire series, do you think that it makes it canon? Was it just a joke? Or maybe just a wink and a nod to the community itself? Leave your thoughts in the comments below, because as always, I am Dr. Wolf, and I look forward to hearing from you.